Hey everybody, and welcome back to Hardcore Heroes Arcadia. So, what are you up to?
All right. Well, that night I go in. Maybe the first night I don't just open a book and start reading. I want to look through Aldrich's library and try and categorize books into order of importance that I should be reading them. Right. So, see, like, does he have a book on the Shadow Plane, for example? Does he have a book specifically on the Curse of the Shadow Mountains? Like, if either of them are around, they're definitely number one priority. So I'm just going to sort of build myself a reading list that I'm going to go through over the course of the next few weeks.
Okay.
And I need to think of a way to contact them if they're still alive. Or at least find out if they're alive. Clairvoyance and clairaudience only work by location, right?
Yes, I believe so.
What about? I only thought of this last night. I just remembered. So I know that this lair, right? So I can clairvoyance the lair, can't I?
Mm-hmm.
What if I want a clairvoyance 200 feet directly above the lair? Or 500 feet directly above it? So that's still a fixed location, but I don't know if it works like that because, well, who knows?
I think that's fair, because I think if you were in a room that you've never been in before and has a door, you could clairvoyance to the other side of the door. Even though you've never seen the other side of the door, you should be able to say, 3 feet beyond me. I think that's fair.
Okay, right. So let's spend some time thinking about what spells we need for today. And have a look through our spellbook and see if there's anything that we think might be able to track Van.
Tracking people on other planes.
Well, assuming he's on another plane.
Right.
So my only scrying spells are clairaudience and clairvoyance, and they can't view people. They can only view specific locations. So really, what I need is Van's reflecting pool spell.
Mm-hmm.
Which I doubt Father Owen is going to be able to cast. Right, because it was like a 4th level spell. Do I know enough about Van's spells to make that call? Or should I maybe ask Father Owen?
Take a look. So you would know approximately when Van was able to cast Reflecting Pool, and that's only fairly recently.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it stands to reason that Father Owen is not nearly a strong enough cleric to cast that spell.
Okay, so I think back to what Van told me about it, and it acts like a crystal ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, in my ancient history archaeology check and Aldrich's library, is there any way that there's a crystal ball knocking around somewhere in Eridon that maybe could be found?
Ooh. Very solid question.
Yes, I thought so.
Why don't you give me an ancient history check? We'll see how it goes.
We're doing plus now, aren't we?
Yeah, we're going all the way to 2-point Neal, so things plus.
21.
Oh, just barely.
Just barely.
Yes, you are aware that that supposedly the Queen's top wizard advisor
whose name I know.
Crystal ball.
His name is... Damn it, I did right. It's like... Keldon or something like that? Kedlin? I'll write that down. Maybe I deleted it. But it's like Keldon or something, right, his name?
Something like that. I think...
Kedlin, maybe? Okay, so he's got a crystal ball. He's unlikely to want to give it up, though.
Not only unlikely, but there's no way in hell. Yeah.
So that is the crystal ball that powerful that it's kind of like an artifact of the crown?
No, this is his personal...
It's his.
Personal object, yeah.
Okay, so now, what about... How does one create a crystal ball? Now, I know where I'm leading with this. There's a spell called Magic Mirror, which creates a crystal ball-like effect. Now, I imagine a crystal ball gets created by casting permanency.
Yeah, you would need enchant an item, magic mirror, permanency.
Okay, so maybe I read about this magic mirror spell, and
Sure.
I want to start thinking about maybe how I would research that spell, because that would allow me to scry on Van, right? No matter where he is.
That's what you think so far, yes.
Yeah. So I want to scout out Aldrich's library and see if he's got the books required to research that spell.
Let's take a look. Aldrich's library. There is our little...
Say Aldrich's library, I mean mine.
Until Aldrich comes to take it back.
Yeah, of course. The only way Aldrich's coming back is if I fish him out of the ocean and cast Animate Dead on him.
Or if someone else fishes him out of the ocean and casts Animate Dead on him, or if he was so traumatized by his death that he raises as a revenant or something.
Fuck, I didn't even think about that. He could be walking through the ocean right now.
I mean, you did piss him off.
Yeah, yeah, right. I can't remember the requirements for a revenant, but it's pretty stringent, isn't it?
Well, it was when it was rules as written, but now that it's 2. Neal, anything goes.
That's true.
Okay, so you would need a library with the value of 6,000 GP to research a 4th level spell. Is that what Magic Mirror is?
Yes.
Okay. So you get a pretty good feeling right away that Aldrich's library is nowhere near complete enough to research that. At best, Aldrich's library is...
It should be level 3, right? Because he's researched a level 3 spell.
Yeah, Aldrich's library at best is worth 4,000 gold.
Okay, so it's not that. Yeah. What about... the books that had survived in the Griffin Tower?
Ah, yeah, those were a lot of books. If you brought those over here, that's probably enough. There's probably enough knowledge combined to be able to do what you would need to do.
So
or you'd have to find another library that's less difficult to access.
If I had another library that I could visit, all the books don't need to be together, right? Could I do the research between the two libraries?
Maybe.
Like if it was as easy as going to Thornwood and visiting the library there.
I think the issue is that you'll probably need to be cross-referencing books while you're doing this, so you might need to have both books present at the same time just for efficiency's sake. Otherwise, the process might, quintuple in time length. You've got to go to Thornwood to jot down these notes and then come back over here and, oh wait, shit, I actually needed this thing that I didn't realize, and you really do need all the books in one spot to properly do this.
Okay. So that tower in Rockwave, or in Talon, sorry, is a good source of books.
Very good source of books.
I haven't researched spells before, but it takes weeks, right? I mean, we're talking
2 weeks per spell level to research a spell.
So even if I had all of the books today and rolled well, we'd be looking at 2 months.
Yes.
So I'm going to go out on a limb and say that maybe isn't a quick enough solution to save Van, given that he's probably already been eaten by the dragon. Okay. Thinking about this, I will go to sleep, because there is investigations to be done tomorrow.
Okay, and the first night passes.
So let's take... I can talk this through now. Let's take 2 magic missiles. No more nap. I wonder if Father Owen's got a nap. Detect magic. Maybe I won't detect magic twice. Nah, just what I'll do. Full of spray. There's got to be a little bit more dead air than usual because...
Yeah, it'll probably have the same dead air that we do with Georg in Dicing with Death.
All right.
I think everyone here is familiar with that sort of thing, which is fine.
All right, good. Just getting used to rolling with the punches.
Yes.
Obviously going to need invisibility. Obviously going to need ESP. Forget. This is where the dragons attack us, and I've got all of these spells. Mirror image. That's a really good one, that mirror image. I like that spell.
How many spells can you memorize of each level?
4, 4, 3, and 2.
A lot of spells.
It's pretty good, yeah. Let's go for... Well, I'll try the Dispel Magic, just in case. I feel like we've already tried that, but...
You got 55 spells, dear God.
I am well learned.
Yeah, you are.
Don't forget though, I mean, I've bought spells from Joris.
Yep.
For a lot of gold. You know, I made effort.
Yep, you've done a great job of collecting spells.
Considering I only had one wizard's book, other than my own that I killed and took until very recently.
Mm-hmm.
That was that foot smuggler guy. Maybe I should take clairvoyance twice. Is clairvoyance the viewing one?
Yes.
Yeah, clairvoyance is the...
Voyance for viewing, audience for audible.
There you go. Polymorph self. I've still got stone skin, haven't I?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Find my... Oh god, I need a new binder. Oh no!
I don't think I've got any gases to cast. Let's hope. Alright. There's some spells for today.
Okay.
So first thing to do is to head down to the town square and cast Detect Magic and try and see if I'm getting a similar illusion-based aura. And presuming, because I'm here sooner this time, if there's anything new to learn.
Correct. There is the large aura, about the same size as before. Looking around, this area is still fairly empty. It seems like people are hesitant to walk through the center of town square now. The side streets are packed, and this kind of center area is fairly empty. On the other hand, the housing crisis is almost over. All these wonderful houses and inns and taverns are empty and no one wants to go in them, so all the people that were homeless at the time now have places to go.
Have they paid for them? No. I assume they just moved in. Alright.
Yeah.
Now that I'm here, I'm going to go check out any merchants that may have had expensive stuff.
You find doors hanging on hinges, and the insides of these places fairly badly damaged. It looks like as soon as people realized this area was devoid of people, that the looters came in and stripped it clean.
The house next door to one of these jewelers, is that inhabited by a refugee?
Yep.
I'll go knock on his door. Oh, wait, Detect Magic, is it illusion?
Oh, 10% chance.
80%.
80%, yeah, 10% per level. Yes, it is the same illusion school.
And there's nothing new to be learned from it?
No,
Wasn't
no,
there
it's
before.
more or less the same as you saw before.
Scouring the floor, do I see any strange patterns?
No.
Damn it. Alright, I go knock on this guy's door.
Okay. The door opens up, and there's a timid man, little bent over, older, looking at you, from his hunched position. Hello?
Hello there. Are you not going to invite me in? Such a lovely home you have here.
Please come in.
Thank you.
Are you the one they call Lord Malachi?
That is correct. Does it just lock like this? I say, locking the door behind me. Sit down.
He sits uncomfortably. You can see the shape of a few children standing behind him on the other side of a counter, peering their heads over the corner of it.
What did you say your name was?
Bob.
Bob. You seem like a good man, Bob. Live south of the city, did you? Fled the strange happenings.
Yes, my lord. The village nearby us just disappeared one day.
Trying to protect your family.
Of course, yes. I too many weird things have been going on. Had to get out of there.
You'd do anything to protect your family, wouldn't you, Bob?
Of course, my lord.
That's what I thought. I can trust you, right?
My lord?
Do you know who lives next door, or who did live next door?
No, sir. I just came in last night. Figured it was better than sleeping outside. The little ones need, they haven't had a good night's sleep in months.
You've never been to the house next door, then?
Oh, no, sir. No.
Don't panic here, Bob. They're just call it an insurance policy, and I cast ESP.
Sure.
All right. So you said you've never been next door, Bob, right? You must be struggling for money.
Times are lean. Yes, sir. Through his surface thoughts, he's like, oh my god, what is going on? Does he know?
Does he know? Ah. Lean, Bob. Are you sure you didn't... I'm sure you haven't paid a visit next door. There's a lot of interesting things there. Now, I wouldn't be mad. Like you said, a man will do anything to protect his family. But those things are they're the property of the barony.
What things, sir?
Gems, gold.
Oh, you mean that next door? I thought you meant the house on the other side. Oh,
That's easy mistake to make, Bob.
I
Now
know.
look, I'd hate to see your children live on the street because you were hanging from the gallows.
His face visibly drains.
So how's about you go and get me the gold and the gems that you took? I know you took them, Bob, but it's fine. Go and bring them to me here, and we'll discuss your options. Go on.
He shakily gets up out of his chair, goes over to where the kids are behind the counter, puts his arms around them for a moment, whispers something to them, pats one of them on the head, and proceeds to head upstairs.
I'm reading his thoughts, so I might know what he said to the kids.
His thoughts are mostly fear, and a little bit of panic, and a great love for his children, who he does not want to be seen. He does not want to see be turned into pinatas.
So does he bring me the loot?
Yep.
Okay.
No. So as you're reading his thoughts as he goes upstairs, and you're trying to follow him with the ESP spell, you get to you're reading his thoughts as he is prying up a floorboard, and then you catch these surface thoughts of, well, I could probably just leave a few here. Maybe I should move these other ones. I'll just put them under the pillow.
As he says that, I shout up the stairs, all of them, Bob!
Of course, my lord. I'll just swallow one.
Okay, I'll let him swallow one.
And then he comes back downstairs, his shirt pulled up, and then things dumped in it.
Okay, so I put them on the table.
There you go, my lord. There, I was worried that some scoundrel might take them, and I've got kids to feed, and they.
Of course, no one. You've done a good thing here, Bob. You've secured these for the crown and for the barony, and Well, I must say I owe you a debt, and I'll let you keep that one that you swallowed. I say, giving him a look. How much do you figure is here, Bob? What does it look like all of this is worth?
I'm just a builder, my lord. I don't really...
Okay. Well, I think it looks like it's worth about, what? We're talking hundreds of gold.
Yeah, easily.
Okay. Did you take it all, Bob, or was there anyone else?
There were a few others, my lord. I got what I could while the going was good.
I could use an honest man like you, Bob. Now, how's about this few hundred gold here? I'll leave you 20% of it. And you can keep this house. This is your house now as far as I'm concerned, because whoever the fuck lived here before, well, he doesn't need it anymore, does he? So this is your house now, Bob. And 20% of this, that's your gold. But things don't come free in this world, Bob. I'm going to need you to do a few things for me. The first thing I'm going to need you to do for me is give me a list of all of the other people who stole from that jeweler's.
He nods.
Right, so I take out a pen. Names.
He looks around uncomfortably. Gary.
Gary.
He just starts listing the people that he saw. He mentions there's a few people that he didn't recognize. They looked like sailors.
Okay.
Like he gives you the descriptions and the names of the other people that he did know. It seems that they were all of the refugee persuasion.
Yeah, thanks for this, Bob. You know, is there anyone in your group who's maybe a little bit more knowledgeable in this kind of thing than yourself? A hardened thief, maybe.
No, sir. I don't hang out with any thieves at all. In his mind, he's going like, "Fucking Gary, he's gonna get me killed."
So it's Gary. Gary then. Gary's the thief. Okay.
How are you doing that? Uh-oh. Did he crash? Did I crash? You there? Hello?
Yeah. Hello.
Cool.
Back now. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I say to Bob, Bob, I'm an honest man. You've got nothing to worry about as long as you keep on my good side. Your kids will remain fed. Your wife will remain beautiful.
Already.
Oh, well, commiserations. I'll get you a new wife if you want. Hey, with all this gold, you can get yourself a new wife. Alright. Thanks for the names. You enjoy yourself. I'll be seeing you soon. I take the other 80% of the gems. Now this morning then I wanna loop around everyone on this list and claim back the gold that I took. Anyone living in a house with children, I'll let them keep the house and let them keep 5% of the wealth they took. I'll gather all the rest up, and then after all that's done, I assume that that's a trivial task to an extent.
Sure. This is a task that you're doing by yourself?
Yes. Unless it's like 50 names, in which case no.
It's like 8 names.
Yeah, so I'll do it myself.
Plus 4 people that he didn't know.
Okay, but the last port of call is Gary.
Okay, let me make some rolls, see if all of these things go really well or if they don't go. In fact, why don't you just make me 7 charisma checks at charisma +5 for your intimidating wizardy nature.
I was gonna say I should get some sort of intimidation bonus.
Yeah, well, everyone's a little bit terrified of the person who's been predicting this for years, or for a year.
How many did you say?
7.
2 fails.
2 fails. All right, so we're just going to deal with the fails then. The other ones all give up their wealth.
That's only 6. 3 fails.
Okay.
Oh wait, no. 2 fails. My bad. There was a 30 at the start.
The first guy that you fail, let's see, it is a lady named Cleo. And when you start coming around and being like, I know you're at this jeweler shop, whatever it is, she just turns and runs. Just bolts the other direction.
Well, I'll I was going to say I'll web her, but that didn't work out that well last time. Maybe that's not a good idea. I mean, do I have time to color spray her? No.
No, she turns and runs, and color spray only extends 5 feet. So.
All right then. Well, I'll cast polymorph self, and fly ahead of her, and then reappear in front of her.
Doesn't polymorph self leave you reeling for 1 round after you change?
Yeah, it does.
So if you fly ahead of her, then when you polymorph back, you'll just be like, for a moment.
No, it takes a round to change. It doesn't leave you reeling for a round afterwards.
Okay, maybe. Oh, that's Dimension Door. Got it.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll try and use that to capture her, and if I do, I will arrest her.
Yes, so you can polymorph yourself into a bird, fly past her, tracking her in the streets, appear in front of her somewhere, or land ahead of her and polymorph back. It takes a full round to switch?
Yeah. I will hit her with my
staff.
staff.
Switch both ways?
I think it just says you take a round to change form. It's like an action to change form, basically. So I think you can't do anything on the round that you turn.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
So you reappear before her, and then let's just roll initiative for the next round, because she flips when she sees you.
All right.
Appear like a bird darts down in the sky, and then all of a sudden the bird turns into Malachi.
Are we going to be doing proper initiative now?
We will be doing proper initiative, yeah.
All right. I'm
wonderful.
Staff this bitch. 7.
All right, so you appear before her. She throws on the brakes, skids to a stop, and then begins to back away from you. The other people in the street stop what they're doing and turn to look. You can even see the people way back in the direction that you came are still looking around, looking for the bird that Malachi turned into.
All right, I'll shout to the crowd then. Apprehend her.
Ooh. To the whole crowd?
Yeah.
Okay. A few people stand by nervously, but 3 folks jump her.
Good.
It looks like 3 men, one from either side of the street and one coming from behind her, just tackle her and collapse into a pile on the ground. She's kicking and shouting and scratching at them.
Okay, good. I'll grab her and I have them take her with me to the guards, to the nearest guard. And I'll get there and I say, lock her in the dungeon. I'll interrogate her later. She hangs tomorrow.
The guards drag her away.
Yes. All right, cool. The second guy failed. I'll do something similar if it goes a similar way, or if maybe he tries
a similar thing. You start asking him questions, and he just turns and runs.
Okay. So I lock these 2 up in the dungeons, and I will deal with them later.
Yeah, you probably still have your polymorph lasts for 160 minutes, so yeah, you can. This shouldn't be too hard.
Sure. Okay.
And the third person.
No, there's only 2 fails. Sorry.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, not a problem.
Okay.
Then.
So after that, I will go and see Gary.
All right.
Expecting Gary to be a real thief. I will show him a little bit more respect. So do I know where to find him?
Yes. Bob lets you know that Gary tends to hang out down by the docks, and sure enough, you find him down there. He is playing some dice games with a couple of sailors. He's got a big smile on his face and a tankard full of whiskey, or a tankard full of ale in his hand. But as you approach, everyone on the docks gets a little bit quiet, and the dice game stops as everyone turns to face you.
Sorry to interrupt your game, gentlemen. May I have a word with Gary here, in private? Don't worry, Gary. Don't run. I'd hate to have to chase you.
He cinches up his pants and starts collecting his coins off of the docks and heads over towards you.
You sit down, Gary. This chap here will move. I say, and get the guy playing the dice game to move so I can take his seat and talk to.
All the people playing the dice game get up and walk away.
That's right.
And maybe a 10-meter radius around you clears out.
So, Gary. Now, first things first. Full disclosure here. I know what you were up to yesterday, and I think, honestly, it's a little bit much to be stealing a man's wealth the day after he was, presumably eaten by some dragon. But, we've all done some bad things here and there. I'm not here to judge you.
I mean, come on, he's not stealing when they're dead.
Yeah, no, there's some truth to that.
And if I wasn't going to do it, someone else would, so,
Somebody else did. Now, here's the deal, Gary. I need someone with your particular set of skills to help me run this town. And
he visibly relaxes. Oh, here I thought I was going to be strung up on my heels.
No, not yet at least. Now, how about we make a deal? I let you keep half of that wealth that you took yesterday. Now I'll know if you shaft me on this one, Gary. You keep half of it, and you be my eyes and ears amongst the rabble. And if I need you for something, then you'll do it for me. And there will be other rewards, but you'll have to trust me on that.
And what sort of guarantee do I got that you're not just gonna take everything I got and hang me up anyway? How do I know you're gonna keep your end of this deal?
You don't really have any guarantees, Gary, other than the fact that if I wanted you dead, you'd already be dead. Now,
I don't doubt that.
Everyone else that was involved in this thievery has done as I asked, or will find themselves hanging by tomorrow morning. So, that's your choice. You get a slightly better deal because I know that you're a skilled man. That's why I'm letting you keep half.
You're the first person to ever call me that.
I've known men like you in my time, and it certainly takes some skill.
Well, appreciate that distinction, Lord. What sort of pay does this come with?
Well, you tell me. How much did you steal?
I didn't steal nothing. I found some amount.
Well, I assume half of what you found. You return half of what you found to the treasury, where it belongs, and we'll let you keep the other half as a down payment for the next, month? Depends how much you do.
You wouldn't be the man if you weren't trying to take half of what was mine. Typical
That's
government.
Right. It's about time you paid some taxes, Gary.
Been paying taxes my whole life.
Yeah.
All right.
Good. So, your first task, then. That isn't the only jewelers in town. I'm sure there's great much wealth that's been stolen from those merchants. Your goal is to return as much of it as you can to me.
Merchants, tavern got hit pretty hard. The inn, Storebrook Inn had a whole little strong box got snagged.
Right. Well, you find it then. You bring it back to me, and we'll split what's left. Not 50-50, mind, but...
You want me to get these things, I'm going to need some help. And money like that leaves town real quick.
Okay.
You want it all collected for you. I'm going to need some enforcers.
Well, I look around the docks. Seems to be plenty of men here. Is there enough men here that you can trust? If you had the gold to pay them?
Aye, yeah. We ain't gonna get hassled by the town guard, are we?
Not as long as you stick to my lines of inquiry.
Well, it might take some unorthodox inquiry to get these out of some of these folks. They're real tight-lipped.
Well, let's put it this way.
Might have to get rough.
Gary, the quieter you can keep it, the easier it makes both of our jobs. Now, I'll do what I can, but if you murder someone in broad daylight, there's not much I can do about it. So,
No murder. No, of course not.
well,
Pulling a
you do
couple
what
of teeth, though.
yeah, you do what you've got to do. I mean, if someone's got to die, Gary, you don't, you do it. That's what it is.
He grins broadly. Mind if I take one guard just so that people know I'm, not just a ruffian?
No, I don't think so. I don't think you can take the guards. Let's see, what could I give you of mine?
How about that staff there?
You'd like that, wouldn't you? No, this is mine. I need this to knock some sense into you if you ever try and steal from me again.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. What can I give this guy? I haven't got my
That
own
cravat.
Yeah, I've got my... Here you go. I'll give him a continual lightstone.
Huh? Turns the rock
It's
over his hand.
It's a magical stone. Here, look. Put it under your shirt or something. It glows bright light.
The fuck? What the hell is this shit?
Now, ain't nobody else in town where you could get one of them. So,
Fair enough.
good.
Well, he extends a hand. It was a real pleasure doing business with you. I'll bring in my 50% after I collect everyone else's. Bring it all to you in one big fat bag.
No. It's 50% of what you already have. The rest.
Well, of what I took, right? Because I made some
Yeah,
earnings with some dice since then, and that's mine.
Yeah, no, of course.
All right.
You don't want to discuss now? My point is, Gary, that you don't get 50% of everything else that you return.
Of course not, my lord. 50%. I'll put my 50% in the bag first, and then collect everyone else's.
Okay, you do that then. I'll be checking up on you, in a week?
Oh, a couple days maybe.
Couple days.
I'll swing by the keep. Bring it to you directly.
Sounds about right. You can knock on Well, I'll leave word with the gatekeeper that you'd be expected.
He stretches his back a little bit. It's a good day to be Gary.
I shake his hand and then pull him in real close and whisper, "If you try and fuck me on this, Gary, I will see you dead."
No worries, my lord. No worries. I know how to climb the ladder just like anyone else. Don't shit up. All the shit flows downhill.
That's right. Okay. I let go of his hand and walk away.
Right.
Turn to your game, gents.
You hear Gary start calling over people and start discussing a competition between them to see who's the better brawler, so he can pick his captain of his enforcers and starts getting his people to work together.
Pretty sweet. All right, I like that. Okay. So next thing, I'm going to return to the tower and I'm going to try these clairvoyance spells. So I leave a note with the town gatekeeper, say that Gary might come around in the next couple of days and to escort him to my door. Don't let him anywhere else in the keep.
Sure.
And I will head back up into Aldrich's tower.
Okay, you are there.
So I will cast clairvoyance 500 feet? No, maybe call it 750 feet above the lair.
You are looking down 750 feet?
I want to be high enough that if it's in the mountains that I'm above the mountains. So how tall are the mountains?
Probably like 3,000 feet.
Oh, okay. I mean, maybe like 3,000 feet then.
Okay, so if the lair is like at the bottom of the mountain, you'll still be above it.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. So you find yourself well above the Shadow Mountains looking down.
Okay. Can I work out from the distance to Shirebrook and Newfort and Whiteshore whereabouts I am in the mountains? Bear
You
in
might be a
mind-
little bit too high above the mountains to work out a precise location on it.
Okay.
You look
Well-
like you're maybe 2,000 or 3,000 feet above the mountains.
So with my cartography skill, this is a map I will have. So I will try and do the calculations and then cast clairvoyance again at the most at the most optimal place to try and pinpoint the location of this lair.
Okay. Did... Hold on. Did Aldrich have clairvoyance?
Yes.
Okay, so you have plenty of powdered pineal gland lying around for this spell because you have all of Aldrich's spell components.
Yes.
So why don't we mark down on your sheet that you've got, after the second casting, you've got 10 more castings of clairvoyance. Because at some point you're going to need to get some more powdered pineal gland.
All right. So I've got 10 more, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
So you cast a second clairvoyance much closer to the mountains, you say?
I guess what I'm trying to say is, the first time I will look around and try and look at Shirebrook, Newfort, Whiteshore, Lake Mysterium, the Crystal Run. Try and pinpoint whereabouts I am. Now, you said I'm too high. So what I will do is I will cast the second one at the required distance to fill in the other gaps in my knowledge and work out exactly where I am. I feel like it shouldn't be that hard between...
No, with 2 spells and 17 int, you can more or less pinpoint the location of the lair.
Perfect. All right. Should have thought of this sooner.
Yeah, this is a very good way of going about it. I just need to actually figure out where the hell this is.
All right. Do you want to draw it on the map? Maybe you want to put a skull.
I will put a marker there. I just need to figure out... Let me look at my notes. Do it in browser. Let's see if we can find a skull icon.
Surely.
This will work. A little bit big. And it is supposed to be... Yeah, you're somewhere around here.
It's near the werewolves, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the werewolves were in this region somewhere.
Okay. Where are the bullywugs?
The bullywugs are all along the river.
Okay.
They just live near the river.
All right, it's pretty good first discovery. Okay, I like that. All right, next thing to do is I want to go and see Father Owen.
Okay. You can go ahead and find Father Owen. He is in his church, which is packed to the gills. You've never seen the cathedral this filled with worshippers before. And you can hear the Father's prayer on everyone's lips. Everyone is praising Astaire and asking him for guidance and forgiveness and to restore order to the land and do away with all of these terrible things.
Do I know where... You remember the room that Krob broke into that had all of the scrolls in it?
That was a different temple, but yes, they're all the temples have the same layout.
Okay. I want to try and go into that room. Is it locked?
Yes, it is locked.
Okay. I will catch the eye of Father Owen if he sees me around.
Father Owen is currently preaching to the masses.
Yeah. So, like, if I can catch his eye from the other side of the crowd, and I'll like nod at him and leave, and I'm going to come back later.
Sure.
To speak to him. I want to take stock of what scrolls we've got, just in case you want to jot that down over the break.
Okay.
Because we did have some powerful scrolls. I know that was back right at the start, and you might have thought that some of that was all too powerful then. Now, but...
You are certainly a clever one.
Some stuff might be around.
Okay.
Right, let's see. I need to do that before I speak to that other guy, but I'll go and check up on him. So I'll go back to the keep, and I'm going to go ask one of the servants where the Cleric of Malchus is being kept.
The Cleric of Malchus is being kept in the jail, in the dungeon.
No, remember, I knew I did something else.
Oh, no, that's right. You had him stored in a room. He has
cleaned
a
up.
guest room in the keep.
Yes, so I will go and visit him in his guest room.
Okay. I guess I don't need any of this stuff right now. All right. You find the cleric of Malchus in his guest room. There is a guard on the door who looks a little bored. You come by, and he immediately says, "This fucker's still in there.
Did he? He hasn't
Hasn't
tried.
said a peep."
Well, he hasn't got a tongue, but
Oh,
he hasn't tried anything, right?
gives a shrug. Quiet as a mouse.
You've been checking on him.
Occasionally. Still lives
Okay.
there as of a couple hours ago.
Good. I'd hate to have to hang you if he escaped.
Come on. You wouldn't do that.
You wouldn't know what. You don't know what I had to go through to capture this guy. No, I'm only joking. Let me in.
He opens the door for you.
Okay.
You find the cleric of Malchus sitting cross-legged in the middle of the room, hands outstretched, elbows on his knees, middle fingers and thumbs touching, eyes closed, back straight in some sort of meditation pose.
I go and stand in front of him and cough.
He ignores you.
I cough again.
He ignores you.
All right, I kick him over.
He topples backwards and opens his eyes with a wry smile.
Ah, you're awake. So, here, I'll grab a piece of paper and hand him a pen. I meant to bring it with me, but I'll go back and get one if I haven't.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Give him a piece of paper, pen, motion towards like a desk that I assume is there.
Mm-hmm.
So I ask him, how do you like your new accommodation?
He scrawls out a very messy, it's very comfortable. Thank you.
Good. I say, there's many more rewards to be had if we can work together. But right now, I don't know if you can be trusted. Can you be trusted?
Scrawled answer comes, "Didn't I tell you we would be working together one day?"
It seems that you were right on that front. So then, is that a yes? I can trust you?
He nods and gives a hissing laugh.
Have you been in contact with Malchus?
His head shakes slowly.
Do you know anything of what happened in Shirebrook?
He
yesterday?
nods emphatically and scrolls down. I've overheard the guards talking, and it is better than I could have ever hoped for.
Do you think that this is your doing, or at least Malchus is doing?
He nods.
Okay. Well, that's all the questions I have for now, but you're not much use to me without a tongue. Let's consider that the greatest reward that I can come up with. If your tongue were to be restored, do you think we could work together?
He scrawls, as long as our goals remain aligned, I feel that we could accomplish great things together. I believe we both want the same thing, what is good for all of Arcadia.
Do you want me to be in charge of this town? Of this county?
He shrugs and writes down, "I don't really care."
Then I'm not sure we want the same thing. But perhaps we can find smaller goals to work together on. I'll bid you adieu. What did you say your name was?
Shit, I just threw away the piece of paper that had his name on it because it had all these old notes and had fallen out of my binder. Oh god, it's gone. I have no idea what his name is. We're gonna give him a new name.
Yeah, okay. Maybe I just make up a name for him. Since he can't answer.
His name... Yeah, he just writes down, "Call me whatever you like. My name is not important to me."
Right then. Van Helsing. No, I will call you Croak. Croak. Very well. I shall speak to you soon. All right. So I'm going to go interrogate the two people I arrested. Try and find out where they'd stashed their gold. I'll lie to them and say that they can avoid the gallows if they tell me where it is.
What was okay? Sorry, I was making note of Croak. What did you just say? Something about gallows?
I'll go and interrogate the two people that I arrested and threaten them. I'll say that they can avoid the gallows if they give up where they kept the gold.
They both immediately start giving you the location and yelling over each other to see who can give you the location of their wealth the fastest.
Okay, so I send a guard out to go and get it, and once it's confirmed, I'll tell the guard to hang them.
To hang them?
Yeah.
The guard gives you an uncomfortable look and says, "My lord, I can't. Well, only a count or a king or a queen could
Really?
can order an execution."
Then they will stay in the dungeon until such time comes that I have the authority. Very well. Take that gold to the treasury.
He nods and hauls off the wealth to the treasury.
All right, I'll go and deposit all of the gold. Oh no, yeah, all the gold that I collected as well. Okay. So, and while I'm there, I want to take stock of our treasury. I'm sure it's run thin.
Yes. I don't have a number for you right now.
Okay.
I will figure that out in between sessions.
I don't suppose that there is magic items in there.
No.
Okay. Just checking. All right. Yeah. So I want to know how much gold Shybrook has, having recovered all of this and repatriated the gold from the missing wealthy people. So hopefully that's done a lot, and then we're selling some houses as well. So hopefully all of this goes quite a way to increasing our position. So this sounds like most of a day's work.
Yeah,
but
that sounds about it.
I will go back and visit Father Owen at the end of the day, and I want to find out what scrolls we've got.
Okay. Take a look. I should have all the scrolls still written down from that first time you guys stole them. Yes, Father Owen comes by and says that the wealth of the churches in forms of magical items and scrolls consists of, although he feels very uncomfortable giving you this information, a potion of hill giant control, a filter of glibness, some healing spells on a scroll, a cured...
What healing spells? Just like
cure critical wounds.
Okay.
I'll copy and paste this whole list to you. And I'll just announce it I'll just read the whole thing out. So you've got one scroll that has 4 cure critical wounds on it, one that has cure disease, protection from cold, and protection from dragon breath, one that has dispel evil and sticks to snakes, one that has 2 neutralized poisons and a heal spell, one hold person, cure critical wounds, and blade barrier, and one insect purge and animate object spell.
Would heal restore lost limbs? I ask Father Owen.
Wipe away disease, injury in the creature. It completely cures all blindness, deafness. It disables feeble mind. No, I think you need a regeneration spell.
I think we've spoke about this before, and over time I've had 2 different answers. What about Rohanna? Would that cure her? Because it does say, I think it heals the effects of disease.
Father Owen thinks on this hard for a while. and then gives you a slow, soft nod and says, I've looked over her wounds myself many times. Her poor, frail state seems to be more damage from her childhood illness, which this ought to wipe away.
Well, Father Owen, I can't cast this myself, and I wouldn't dare take it from you. But times are dire. Rohanna is a trusted advisor of mine, and I believe Shirebrook needs her now more than ever. I can't think of a better use for this heal scroll.
May I counsel patience and guidance? Never know when this might be more useful.
I won't take it from you, but maybe you can sleep on it.
I will execute your will as the chancellor has suggested. This matter will be in your hands, but I counsel patience. Good things come to those who wait, my lord.
Tell me, this scroll, heal, what use is it outside of another spell like this, cure critical wounds? Most men surely could be saved by the latter. This heal scroll, it's more specific for a great warrior or a long-term damage. I can't think of a better use. If I were to lose an arm, it wouldn't help me. If I were to be brought within an inch of my life, then one of these other spells would do just as well.
He nods. Indeed, indeed. I shall bring it to her, and, would you like to be present?
Let's go, now.
He nods, puts all the other scrolls back in their position, proper places, puts the potions back, takes this one, and heads with you to Rohanna's little shop.
Father Owen, if you don't mind waiting outside, I'll come and fetch you in a moment.
He stands outside waiting.
I'll knock on Rohanna's door.
Come on in! Comes the cry.
Opening the door. I assume she's in like a coughing fit or something.
Malachi, what brings you here? I hope I haven't warranted an arrest?
No, of course not. Well, unless you were stealing from the disappeared merchants as well.
Of course not.
I wouldn't think so. Rohanna, we find ourselves in dire times, and I find myself down at least one friend. In
Only
fact,
one?
Perhaps two. Who can say? The ranger, well, he was trying at times, but I suppose he meant well. We probably could do with him now. Alas, it doesn't matter. He's gone, at least for now. Rohanna, and I need a true friend, someone I can rely upon, someone to look after things in my stead if I find myself away from town. And
Why,
well,
Malachi, are you asking me to be your friend?
I believe we're already friends. Rohanna, I'm asking you to be my chancellor?
I thought you were going to say something else for a moment. Of course, I would be a fool to say no.
Indeed. However, I do worry how all this extra stress, on top of the stress of managing your store, will play upon your health. I'm sure you've grown quite used to your condition. But it bequeaths me to do something for you now that it is within my power. Please, I know what you're going to say. You're going to tell me not to go through with it, but sit down and I'll be right back. Go outside. Father Owen, you can come in now.
Right. Father Owen steps in. Rohanna looks to you, confused, looks to him. Owen, what's the meaning of this? Gives you a look and produces a scroll from his sleeve and says, Lady Rohanna, please just sit still for a minute, would you? This won't hurt, I think. Hopefully not. It
Wait,
might
could
hurt,
this,
I don't know.
is this dangerous, Owen? Could this couldn't kill you, right?
I mean, it should heal her.
Yes. No, I remember a story of a cleric casting a scroll that was very powerful and it resulted in his death. That might have been the particular scroll, though.
That is a good question. I don't know if I have a chance to fail it just because I'm a lower level caster.
I probably shouldn't have mentioned it.
Probably not. It would have been much better for you had you let it just happen.
Just use force of will, Father Owen. If you believe it to be true, I'm sure you'll be fine.
Of course, of course. Let me just double check the rule books. Potion scrolls. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Yeah, how old is she's not like 80, Rohanna, is she?
No. She's barely older than you. She's 28.
Perfect. Good.
Okay.
I'll make her my fighter.
Okay, there is depending on the difference in the caster level, there's a chance for failure or a chance for a reverse or harmful effect.
How
awesome.
How chancy though? Like, what are the chances this is going to kill Rohanna?
I got to figure out what level heal is and what level what's his face is.
I think heal's level 6.
I think so too. I just need to double check. Yeah, heal's level 6, which means you need to be what level caster to cast a level 6 spell? God, I gotta look that up too.
13 or 11 maybe.
Pretty high.
Yeah, this might not be a great idea actually.
Priest. No, that's paladin. Priest.
11.
11?
Yeah.
Okay. And Father Owen is level... like level 5 or something. Let me get the exact age, though. Shirebrook Secrets. Father Owen is level... Where is it? Level 4. Woo! So that is a 7-level difference.
Yeah, it's quite a lot.
That is... Well, you wouldn't know, but... So you're going to roll a D100. You want to roll as close to the middle as possible, because the very high and the very low is where the the fail or negative effects happen.
Would the negative effect be harm? In which case, reduce her to 1d4 HP, so it wouldn't kill her. Or would it be like she's dead?
One sec.
Some of those scrolls we've got, though, are pretty good. If we were to fight the dragon. Dispel evil.
Oh, hold on. No, I misread this table here. The chance of failure is 5% per level difference between... And then, if it fails, then there's a chance on the table. Okay, so it's a, what do we say, 7-level difference?
35%.
Yeah, so give me a D100 and roll above 35.
Alright. I still can't think of a better use. Yes.
Boom. Okay. A deep blue, almost purple light begins to surround Rohanna as Father Owen touches her gently on the forehead, and while incanting loudly the scroll on the spell on the scroll, um, Rohana begins to cough and wheeze horribly, ending in a large gasp of air as the purplish, bluish light fades around her. And that last gasp comes out rather smoothly. And then she starts breathing tentatively, and her eyes kind of change from one of agony to one of surprise as she.
It worked. It worked. I embrace her.
She half-heartedly embraces you, a little more stunned and not quite sure what to do. Father Owen takes a few steps back with a proud look on his face.
Thank you, Father Owen. Thank you.
Of course. I would like to... if you don't mind, lady, I would like to inspect you to make sure that... To document exactly how this happened. It's not every day such a miracle is performed. I would like to, if you don't mind. She acquiesces, and then asks you what you would like her to do as your chancellor.
All right, let me think. But so I think I remember Rohana had this illness because she rolled really low constitution. Is that right?
So in mechanical terms, she rolled like crappy con, and so I built the lore that she had decent con and then was stricken with illness, and now her con's restored. Yeah.
So does this mean now she's got normal con again?
Yeah, I guess I have to roll con for Rohana.
Nice. Don't roll like 4.
No, we roll 11.
Yeah, cool. So she got more HP and stuff. No.
I guess, yeah.
All right. Well, I say, as Father Owen's checking her over, I say, I haven't got anything in mind right now, but I just want to make sure you were in position. If I have to leave town suddenly or at some point, then I trust my power over to you until I return. If you have any ideas on how we can track the missing people or secure the town's position,
Is Chancellor Landslide is he aware of this decree?
He said I could do what I wanted, so it's no problem to him if I name you my advisor.
Okay.
As Chancellor, Rohana, you'll recall the other day me asking you if you could identify something for me. Of course, the town would reimburse you, and I could provide you a pearl.
I think in this situation, why don't we call it doing a friend a favor?
Thank you. Well, when you're finished, when Father Owen's finished, I'll go over the details.
Sure.
So I think maybe I'll spend the night here with her. She can cast a spell in the morning when she's learnt it, and I'll inform her of, everything I know. Sort of like bring her up to speed, like tell her I've worked out where the lair is. Sort of go through my theories about the plane. I'll talk more with her about what she actually saw when she read Georg's mind, and if it at all matches up with what we saw in the town square.
Yes. The various reports seem to be a similar sort of grayish mist. The difference being what this Georg fella saw was saturated or desaturated of color, whereas here in town, people could still see the colors on signs or on armor or whatever people's faces.
I theorize that perhaps Georg was on this other plane when he found this phylactery, and perhaps it's a force from said plane that took the people. But then I take out my map and point to the location. It seems like its lair is on this plane. I'm pretty sure clairvoyance doesn't work across the other planes, so it must be here.
Well, then perhaps the creature, she says in a strong voice, is of this realm.
And it's just sending people off to wherever that is.
Are you familiar with will-o'-the-wisps?
Vaguely.
They are theorized to feed off of the emotional energy of dying creatures. I think it would be not unreasonable to think some sort of monster that sends people to other planes feeds off of some sort of energy shift from one place to another.
Yeah, no, that could make sense. The only problem we've got, well, the bones of someone that was killed were in that lair. So my initial thought was that they were just being transported to this thing's lair for it to eat them, but
maybe it doesn't take them all. Maybe it takes some, eats them.
Yeah, maybe. Either way, though, we need to. At least, I'm unsure of rolling up on something like this. I'm just trying to catch a glimpse of it because that's how you get yourself eaten, I imagine. I need to find Sturge. He might be able to sneak up on it. Tell me, you know anything about smoke methods?
She shakes her head.
I thought it was just a strange occurrence at the time, but the first village that we saw where this had happened, the dwarven mining village, very south of Shirebrook, in the mountains themselves. Do you recall?
She nods. I remember the story.
Yeah, well, when we got there, the only thing that we found in the village was 2 smoke methods. Now, I didn't think anything of it at the time, but maybe they weren't smoke methods. Maybe they were mist methods? Maybe they are to do with whatever this thing is. Maybe we could do some research into methods and how they come into existence.
I wish I knew more about these things. You really need someone who is more knowledgeable in the various planes.
Yes, well, there's only one person I can think of that might know more about it than us.
No, but that's ridiculous.
Well,
Kill
yes. Well, I'm sure he'd try. Still, though, if things don't get, if we don't find any answers soon, I might not have a choice. If we're to save Van's life, then a few risks must be taken. This is one of them, I say, like motioning to Hare and what we did with Father Owen.
Right. Father Owen's already gone by this point.
Yeah, this risk paid off.
She leans in close, and even though it's the dead of night and no one's around and the door is closed, which is wizard locked, and literally no one else can be in this room, she lowers her voice and says, "Are you sure you want Father Van Helsing back?"
Excuse me?
I know the two of you have been friends and close, but I recall you have also been at odds many, many times.
Well,
Isn't
regardless,
he more in your way than helping you?
be that or it may. Be that true or may not true. Whatever the saying is, don't interrupt me. I still wouldn't see him eaten by some beast. Whether he is a hindrance to me or not is beside the point. I can't leave him to die. And that's the end of it.
Okay.
Well, here, look, like I said, I need you to identify some things. I reach into my bag. So I've got these 2 daggers. I think that they're the same thing. They seem to be a matching pair, so you've got a second chance if you fail one of them. Somehow it still eluded me. So, there you go. Take
Well,
these.
it's because you were always impatient. You must
Perhaps.
properly clean the area, Malachi. How many times did I tell you, even a single feather out of place ruins the spell?
I know. I seem to recall the ranger knocking on my door at the time. I
Ah.
blame him.
Well,
And I think that's all I've got. Does she want a pal or she got her own?
she'll take the pearl. You did offer it.
I did offer
She's
it.
no fool.
Okay.
And why don't we go to break?
Yes. Okay.
And when we come back from break, we'll see who else Malachi can extort, betray, murder, imprison,
Neal.
heal. See you guys on the other side of our break. Bye bye.